Stop believing the rich are simply lucky. Start understanding that wealth obeys strategy, not fairness. Every year ends the same way. The powerful get richer while everyone else explains why they can't. If you ignore this, you will watch another December pass with nothing changing but your excuses. You keep thinking money responds to effort. It doesn't. Money responds to position, timing, and information. The rich don't work harder. They place themselves where profit flows first. You stay busy. They stay strategic. That is why they win before the year even begins. Your real enemy isn't poverty. It's blindness. You underestimate how brutally organized the wealthy are. You think they improvise. They follow a plan so cold and calculated that most people would never believe it exists. You want results without architecture. They build the trap, then step aside while everyone walks into it. In the Machiavellian view, power comes from securing advantages before anyone sees the opportunity. The rich don't chase openings. They create scarcity, then profit from desperation. You wait for things to stabilize. They move when the ground is still shaking and because that's when everyone else freezes. Stop assuming you'll rise by doing more. You rise by leaking less. Your losses are silent. Subscriptions you don't cancel. Impulses you don't control. Income you don't protect. Relationships that drain and never return value. Wealth is lost one small surrender at a time. The rich understand this. You still think the danger is dramatic. You were trained to be predictable. You announce your goals. You reveal your plans. You ask for permission. The powerful do the opposite. They act first, speak rarely, and let results make the noise. You seek approval. They seek leverage. If you want to change your financial outcome before the year ends, you must adopt the first law. Never let your money follow emotion. Emotion spends. Strategy multiplies. Every impulsive purchase is a declaration that someone else controls you. Every delay is proof that you don't. Hold this. The rich never chase status through consumption. They gain status through control. While others prove they have money, the powerful prove they can keep it. Silence is their balance sheet. Restraint is their weapon. You are being played by urgency. Discounts, countdowns, seasonal pressure. These are weapons, not opportunities. The rich don't buy during chaos. They sell during chaos. While you feel the fear of missing out, they feel the pleasure of watching the crowd move exactly as expected. Nothing increases profit more than predictable panic. Pause here and face a truth. You were conditioned to react, not to calculate. Every time you rush, someone profits. Every time you hesitate, someone advances. The powerful understand timing the way surgeons understand blood flow. One wrong move, and the advantage dies on the table. Your financial weakness is not income. It's leaks. You try to make more before you learn how to lose less. This is why your situation never changes. You collect achievements and remain stuck. Wealth is not built by addition. Wealth is built by elimination. Now you must confront the second law. Protect your downside before you chase the upside. The rich never enter a position without knowing their exit. They don't rely on hope. They rely on insulation. You think winning makes you safe. The powerful know that safety makes you able to win. Observe how they operate at year's end. While everyone spends to feel alive, they cut to stay untouchable. They renegotiate, withdraw, consolidate, and prepare. You decorate your life. They fortify theirs. That is why January feels like a reset for you, but a harvest for them. If you want to stop being predictable prey, you must change one brutal habit. Stop advertising your financial intentions. The moment people know what you want, they can control what you fear. Silence is not mystery, it is protection. The rich don't reveal targets, they reveal results. You are not losing because you lack intelligence. You are losing because you leak information, energy, and resources without noticing. Nothing drains power faster than being accessible to everyone and accountable to no strategy. You keep waiting for motivation to save you. It won't. The rich don't rely on feelings, they rely on structure. Discipline is not inspiration, it is engineering. You think self-control is about willpower. In reality, it is about removing options that make you weak. Here is the third law. Your environment decides your financial future more than your effort does. The powerful design surroundings that force compliance. Their accounts auto-transfer. Their investments auto-compound. Their expenses auto-disappear. They don't trust mood. They trust systems that don't care how they feel. You still believe change happens internally. The rich know change happens externally first, then internally follows. A man who keeps temptations nearby is not unlucky. He is rehearsing his own defeat. A man who makes wealth automatic is not gifted. He is unavoidable. Look at how predictable the masses become in the final months of the year. Spending rises, alertness falls, and accountability dissolves. That is why wealth concentrates in silence. The rich don't accelerate in January. They position themselves in November while everyone is distracted. You are not meant to compete with them emotionally. You must compete structurally. Your fourth law is brutal. Access is the real currency, not money. The rich don't chase opportunities, they position themselves where opportunities chase them. You keep trying to earn more. They focus on earning permission. A single doorway is worth more than 10 years of effort. Stop asking to be included. Powerful people don't invite persistence, they reward scarcity. When you are always available, your value collapses. When you become selective, your status hardens. Wealth responds to positioning, not noise. Here's the mechanism. The rich engineer information asymmetry. They know what others don't, before they need it. That is why their moves look lucky. Luck is simply timing combined with silence. They never announce intentions. They reveal outcomes. You lose money because you move publicly. Every plan you share becomes vulnerable to interruption, comparison, and doubt. A silent strategy cannot be attacked. A public one dies before execution. Hold this line. Privacy is not secrecy and it is protection. Then understand the fifth law. They convert every relationship into leverage. Not friendship, not sentiment, leverage. You treat people as equals in intention. They treat people as variables in a long-term equation. Stop believing access means connection. Powerful people separate warmth from dependence. They can be charming without attachment, generous without obligation, present without availability. Here's the mechanism. Dependency creates control. The moment someone needs you, their options shrink and your influence expands. The rich don't chase admiration. They manufacture usefulness. Usefulness is the highest form of status because it cannot be faked. Never confuse visibility with power. A shadow can control the room better than the spotlight. Your mistake is simple. You try to be liked. They position themselves to be needed. You rise faster when powerful people wonder how you survived without their help. Dependence lowers your price. Scarcity increases your value. You must become the person who doesn't need access to be noticed. Influence gravitates to self-sufficient strength, not eager requests. Stop chasing approval. Start controlling exposure. In the Machiavellian view, power guards itself by forcing others to prove usefulness before granting entry. The rich use distance as a filter. They watch who collapses without attention and who remains composed in silence. Neediness reveals your ceiling. Restraint raises it. Never broadcast ambition. Display readiness instead. You communicate status without speaking by mastering delayed response. Slow replies signal priority. Fast availability signals desperation. Silence is the most expensive language in high-level rooms. People respect what they must wait for. Observe who becomes uncomfortable when you don't explain yourself. The sixth law is cold but accurate. Never stand where everyone can reach you. If access is free, value is forgotten. If access is earned, value is protected. The rich increase their worth by decreasing their visibility. Every step back forces others to step forward. Hold your distance long enough to become a question. You do not climb by inserting yourself. You climb by becoming the person they cannot ignore. Power selects. It does not respond to volunteers. When you are rarely seen but always remembered, doors open without knocking. Do not reveal your full schedule. Let people wonder how limited your time is. The seventh law completes the ascent. Build leverage before connection. You never approach power empty-handed. Bring information, access, or results, not enthusiasm. The rich do not mentor potential. They align with advantage. Your value must precede your arrival. Stop asking what they can do for you. Define what only you can offer. Scene 1. A colleague tries to impress an executive with flattery and constant presence. The executive forgets his name by morning. Another stays silent, finishes difficult work others avoided, and leaves without commentary. The executive calls him first the next week. Scene 2. At a family gathering, a relative brags loudly about new plans. People smile politely and dismiss him. Another speaks little, listens carefully, and pays attention to what matters. By the end of the night, everyone seeks his opinion. Respect follows the person who does not demand it. Picture yourself entering a room where conversations lower by instinct, not because you asked for recognition, but because silence has already announced your position. You take your seat without explaining who you are. Power notices. Weakness reacts. If this shifted how you move, stay close. Only the few continue. The wealthy don't wait for the year to reward them. They force the year to surrender. While most people slow down, they accelerate. December is not a finish line to them. It is the battlefield where advantage is taken from the distracted. Stop relaxing when everyone else does. In the Machiavellian view, the final weeks of the year expose who deserves power. The rich study what the crowd forgets. Attention collapses, discipline fades, and markets become careless. Timing is not luck. Timing is intelligence disguised as patience. You lose money by following the calendar instead of exploiting it. The first truth is brutal. The year's end is not neutral. It punishes the passive and rewards the prepared. While others numb themselves with celebration, the powerful position themselves for the next 12 months. They know that momentum built in silence becomes dominance in public. Stop thinking the year resets on January 1st. It resets now. You remain stuck because you move when everyone moves. Power moves when others sleep. The wealthy don't wait for motivation. They create conditions that make progress unavoidable. They weaponize boredom, repetition, and structure. You must learn to do the same. Discipline is not a feeling. It is the removal of options. The second truth cuts deeper. Your environment decides your decisions. If you stay surrounded by distraction, you will become it. The rich curate their inputs like a fortress. They guard their attention because attention is the first form of currency. Observe what steals your focus. It already owns your future. You cannot rise while staying reachable to everyone. Most people stay broke because they confuse availability with kindness. The wealthy treat access as a privilege, not a default. Their time is filtered, scheduled, protected. Yours must become the same. Stop responding instantly. Start responding intentionally. In high-level circles, urgency signals weakness. Composure signals priority. The rich never rush to prove themselves. They let others reveal impatience. Every delayed answer increases their perceived value. You must learn to slow down without losing control. Silence forces people to respect what they cannot predict. The third truth exposes the hidden mechanism. Money follows those who become difficult to replace. Not talented, replaceable. Not hardworking, replaceable. Only strategic scarcity creates power. The rich don't try to be good at everything. They dominate one position so completely that removing them becomes costly. Specialization is not limitation, it is leverage. People stay average because they fear choosing. The wealthy choose early, refine aggressively, and eliminate distractions. They do not explore endlessly, they commit. You must pick a lane that compounds instead of resetting every year. Stop collecting options. Choose a direction. The person who focuses becomes dangerous. The person who focuses consistently becomes inevitable. Most will never experience this because they quit when results are invisible. The rich endure the invisible phase longer than anyone else. That is why they break through, hold the line even when nothing moves. Scene 1. In the office. 3 co-workers plan to start fresh next year. They reduce effort, leave early, and wait for January. One stays late, finishes difficult tasks, and asks for nothing. When promotions arrive, leadership chooses the only person who remained active while others paused. Scene 2. Among friends, everyone spends money to celebrate the season. One tracks every expense, negotiates every bill, and redirects every saved dollar into investment. Months later, the group feels the cost of their impulses. He feels the reward of his restraint. The year does not erase decisions, it exposes them. Picture yourself entering January already ahead, not hoping, not wishing, but armed with momentum no one saw you build. While others search for motivation, you execute. While they restart, you advance. The game changes when you stop waiting for the calendar to save you. The fourth truth strips away illusions. The rich don't chase money. Money chases preparation. The average person seeks opportunity when they need it. The powerful prepare before they need anything. By the time others start searching, they have already positioned themselves. Stop reacting to life. Start staging it. In the Machiavellian view, outcomes belong to those who engineer advantage quietly. The wealthy do not rely on motivation or luck. They build systems that make winning automatic and losing expensive. Structure is their shield. Routine is their weapon. You cannot control results, but you can control conditions. Most people fail because they negotiate with themselves. The rich remove negotiation. They design mornings that force momentum. They script environments that eliminate temptation. They understand that willpower collapses, but structure endures. Discipline is not about strength. It is about architecture. The fifth truth exposes the strategy behind their confidence. The rich never rely on one source. Dependency is financial slavery. If one stream controls you, it owns you. The wealthy diversify not for luxury only but for survival. Multiple inputs create security, leverage, and calm. Never let one paycheck decide your fate. You cannot build power while standing on a single leg. The rich expand horizontally while the average waits vertically. They experiment small, scale fast, and cut losses even faster. Their strength is not abundance, it is adaptability. Observe what you depend on, then reduce its control. Most people stay trapped because they fear starting before knowing everything. The rich start small and learn through movement. They understand that hesitation is the most expensive habit. Every month you delay is a month someone else compounds. Stop waiting for certainty. Act with calculation. The sixth truth reveals the hidden battlefield. Information is the real currency. Money follows awareness. The rich track trends before they become headlines. They study behavior while others chase news. They invest where confusion exists and exit when excitement begins. Silence lets you hear what the crowd misses. You cannot out-earn people who outthink you. Financial power is not about intelligence, it is about observation. The wealthy notice patterns the distracted never see. Rising costs, shifting incentives, emotional spending cycles. You must learn to predict instead of react. Prediction is not magic. It is patience applied to reality. Scene 1. A manager spends year-end bonuses on status symbols. Another studies market changes, cuts unnecessary expenses, and allocates funds into assets. Months later, one owns objects that lose value. The other owns decisions that produce value. Scene 2. A family member laughs at financial caution and spends freely during celebrations. Another avoids emotional purchasing, negotiates debt, and builds a cash reserve. When an unexpected crisis hits, one panics. The other chooses instead of begging. Stability belongs to those who prepare when nothing is wrong. Picture yourself watching the world rush into celebration while you move with calculation. Not anxious, aware, not deprived, positioned. The rich are not lucky. They are ready before the moment arrives. The seventh truth exposes the rule no one admits. The rich win because they detach faster than others. They do not stay loyal to failing habits, draining relationships, or dying opportunities. They cut what weakens them before emotion interferes. Stop protecting what is sinking. The average person confuses endurance with strength. The powerful know that strength is selective. They retreat strategically to preserve resources for battles that matter. They do not fear walking away, because walking away is how they stay untouchable. Detachment is not coldness, it is control. You cannot rise while clinging to what drains you. The wealthy review their commitments like a general reviews troops, removing what cannot perform, reinforcing what produces, and replacing what slows the advance. They operate without sentiment in matters of survival. Never let comfort decide your financial future. Most people remain stuck because they keep trying to fix what should be replaced. The rich replace quickly because they understand the cost of delay. Time is the only resource that never returns. Money lost can be regained. Time wasted becomes permanent. Stop trying harder at what no longer works. The eighth truth dismantles a dangerous illusion. The rich don't seek fairness. They seek advantage. The average person waits for equal conditions. The powerful create conditions that favor them. They negotiate timing, not effort. They choose terrain, not hope. Power is never neutral. You must stop expecting life to reward you for suffering. The world rewards strategy, not struggle. The wealthy do not complain about inequality. They study it, adapt to it, and exploit it intelligently. They win because they refuse to play the same game as everyone else. Stop fighting where you cannot win. Shift the battlefield instead. Scene 1. 2 employees receive the same income. One spends every increase adjusting lifestyle upward. The other freezes lifestyle, invests the difference, and treats raises like soldiers, not celebrations. 5 years later, their lives do not resemble each other. Scene 2. During holidays, most chase discounts they cannot afford. One person shifts the move, selling unwanted items, reducing liabilities, and redirecting emotional spending into strategic accumulation. While others decorate for approval, they build for freedom. Freedom is built quietly, long before anyone notices. You now stand at the point where the rich separate from the rest, not through talent, but through decisions repeated without apology. Wealth is not an event, it is a structure you build when no one claps. In the end, wealth is not loud. It is the quiet reshaping of your life when no one is watching. You stop chasing validation. You stop broadcasting effort. You build in silence until silence becomes your power. Imagine your future like a fortress, stone by stone, choice by choice. No rush, no noise, no witnesses, only discipline turning into inevitability. While others wait for the calendar to save them, you become the kind of person the calendar cannot touch. Not reactive, calculated, not hopeful, prepared, not afraid, unavailable to loss. The world will not announce the moment you cross the line. You will simply notice that nothing external controls you anymore. And that is when wealth stops being a goal and becomes a state of dominance. If this shifted something in you, remember it the next time they expect you to stay ordinary. Subscribe now. Only those who act today get access to the next strategy.